All right, y'all. The Dolphins will never win with Tua. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one here because kind of talked about this in the last video.
The Dolphins
touched
look
on it a
straight
little
up
bit.
abysmal. They're just an absolute joke out there.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel looked as mad as we've ever seen him. We had fans wearing brown paper bags over their heads out there for this game. Fellas, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, this entire thing. We'll start with Tua. Should Tua's time be up in Miami at this point?
Hey, wait, before we start, why do they always do this?
I got some important information for y'all. There's no better place to win cash while watching sports than Prize Picks. Football season is here. Picks. It's good to be right.
The bag, I'm trying to figure that out.
You're ashamed to put on that jersey, man.
Yeah, you're ashamed.
You're
You don't
ashamed
want
to
to
put
be
on that
seen.
jersey. You
But then why go to the game is what he's going to say.
Seen,
Okay.
okay. I feel him.
Yeah.
Because as much as I rep Tua publicly, somebody gets your boy.
I think it's like you go into the game to support your team, but it's a public roast at the same time.
We need one.
Relax. Let me sound off real quick, bro.
Please do.
Tua's time in Miami, it has to be done because Tua is descending while the rest of the AFC and AFC quarterbacks are ascending. And what I mean by that, if y'all really know the Miami Dolphins, remember in 2022, it was week 2. The Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins, they face off against one another. Tua Tagovailoa goes 36 for 50, 6 touchdown passes, just 1 interception, has a miraculous comeback versus the Baltimore Ravens, and they win that game 42-38. We are a far cry from 2022 Tua Tagovailoa. We are a far cry from 25 touchdown, 8 interception Tua Tagovailoa. We are a far cry from the 11-6 Miami Dolphins. So
I get that, but I feel like Mike McDaniel's system has not evolved, bro. You know, like I feel like it's still somewhat basic, and it's okay. But you got to tweak it here and there and add some stuff in here, you know. And I just think at that point in time, it was so nice and innovative, and it was so fresh and so explosive. But I think we if you don't improve, you're getting worse. If you stay the same in the NFL, you're getting worse because teams are figuring you out. So you have to keep adding on, and it just don't feel like they've added on a lot. I could be wrong, but
why Tua and the Dolphins have stayed stagnant, and I would suggest they have descended. You have teams like the Baltimore Ravens that have at least stayed at the same level, or they have ascended. Simultaneously, you have other AFC teams like the Indianapolis Colts, like the Denver Broncos, like the Chargers, that are also ascending. So the Dolphins have stayed at the same level, or really, they have gotten worse over the last 3 years. Meanwhile, other AFC teams that were already better than the Dolphins, like the Ravens, have stayed the same. And other AFC teams that were worse than the Dolphins, like the Broncos, like the Colts, like the Chargers, they have gotten better. So if you are a Miami Dolphins fan, you want better, you deserve better, and you need better. And at the end of the day, Tua's skill set, it is limited. He is a brainiac. He is cerebral, but he does not have the athleticism to extend plays when you have to go off.
You don't need the athleticism, though. I mean, we see it with Jared Goff, so I think that's kind of a cop-out. I think the decision-making is an issue at times, but I also think that could be partially because the play calling. Again, I feel like this offense is somewhat figured out. Like, they have their games. It's a good offense, but I feel like at times they kind of get exposed a little bit. But Tua has a nice quick game. He got a nice arm, with intermediate and short throws. I think his decision making at times is good, and I think sometimes it's bad. But I think there's multiple factors in this equation.
Script. When you play the Atlanta Falcons and everything,
and I don't think mobility is the issue because we have winning quarterbacks. We have Aaron Rodgers, not the most mobile quarterback. He's playing good football. We have Joe Flacco, not mobile, but he can move, playing good football. Jared Goff, not mobile, playing good football. So I feel like it's a cop out.
The Falcons don't get any pass rush. Tua can cook. But the moment things go off script, Tua cannot cook. And we live in a day and age of quarterback, of the Lamar Jacksons, of the Drake Mays, hell, of the Bo Nixes.
If your play calling requires your quarterback to go off script, then that's the issue with your play calling.
Of quarterbacks that are dual threat and they can cook when things go off script. That's why I think Tua has hit his head on the ceiling in Miami. You can consistently win 7, 8 games, 9 games a season. I don't think you're winning 11, 12, 13 or a Super Bowl 2-5.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I don't know how smart he is. Like, you always say how smart he is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything is like kind of dialed up for him. Mike McDaniel does a good job of moving the defense the way he wants them and get what he wants for the quarterback. But I don't know how good he is. And he's scary. Do you watch him? The guy gets more intentional grounds than anybody. He don't want to get touched. Did you see the play before the half? The play before the half.
Yeah.
Right? They were gonna take a long shot. Anything can happen. It's football.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, these guys catch these balls. He didn't even want to get touched.
Yeah.
He falls on the ground.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yo, you can't win with a player like that. Not because he's not good enough at.
I ain't gonna bash him because I see a lot of I see increments of stuff like this happen all throughout the league where it's questionable. Like, throw the ball out of bounds. Why didn't you just chunk it? It's 3rd and 14. Like, y'all finna punt the ball anyway. Like, just give your guy opportunity. I see this all over the league, but yeah, I mean, respectfully, that was weird. Not to just chunk the ball up with 0 seconds left on the clock.
As a quarterback, but I don't see no heart. It's like if you're our leader and we're supposed to follow you, I don't see no heart in you. If you're in the huddle and you talking to me, you saying the play in the huddle, right? You looking at all the linemen, the wide receivers, and the running backs, and we're looking at you. We don't believe you. You're not leading us to no drives to win no games. His time in Miami is up. I don't know what we waiting on. What we waiting on? The same way you felt about Tua when you drafted him, you didn't want him. I see the same thing. The only difference is he's not making them easy plays with them skilled positions he had. Giving the ball to Tyreek Hill, let him do all the real work. The truth.
Yeah, it was a very difficult.
That's really embarrassing.
It was really an embarrassing performance today. We got
and
the
he's
video.
scary.
Yeah.
You don't think he's scary?
The Boo
Oh
Birds
my
came out
God!
for him.
Oh my God! Like hot potato. Oh, don't touch me. He looks scary out there.
To me, I don't know if it's much as scary, but if let's be real.
You don't think it's scary?
I'm sitting here with 2-5. I'm gonna be real. The quarterback is the leader. The era of cute little small quarterbacks winning like Drew Brees, that's over and done with. Like, if I'm trying to follow you, I want to follow Josh Allen. I want to follow Lamar Jackson. I want to follow Patrick Mahomes. Respectfully, I want to follow.
I think you could still win with a short quarterback, but you just gotta have all the other pieces. You need the head coach, you need the elite offensive weapons, and you need a really good defense. That's just what it is. But I think it's harder to win with a shorter quarterback. It's much harder. But I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Or is dead.
I want to follow Justin Herbert just off stature. I'm not yet talking about skill set. Y'all know what it is. Alpha males, if everybody walks into a room, we all walk into a room. The biggest, the tallest, the strongest, the most authoritative, or the most accomplished, they're the one getting the respect. If you walk into a room amongst men, it's who's the wealthiest, who might be the tallest, who might be the most fit. Like, that's the one that's commanding the respect. It's the same thing amongst all wolves in an NFL.
Yeah, but that's all surface level. Because again, you can be a shorter quarterback, but if you got it up here and you lead by example, then that's all that matters. Because again, you can walk into a room and all these dudes could be wealthy, and they could be tall, and they could be fit, but you got Buddy over here who's Mighty Mouse, if you know UFC, and he can whoop everybody in there, and he's confident in himself, and he got money. So it's like all them other factors are surface level. You can be this 6-foot quarterback, but and maybe his defense would be that Tua doesn't have these traits where he's not the most confident or most respected dude in the locker room, which I could understand because Tua he does stuff to make the locker room lose respect for him. But I think a lot of that surface level. I don't think that you have to be the biggest quarterback to command respect from your teammates or anything like that, or the wealthiest, or what I mean.
Locker room. When I'm in a locker room with the Philadelphia Eagles, Jason Peters is commanding the respect because he's 6'4", he's 335 pounds. Shady's an all-pro, he's commanding respect. Deshaun Jackson, he's flashy.
Oh, okay. I get. Okay, he said he's an all-pro, he's commanding respect. So yeah, so the accolades. Okay.
He's the fastest, he's commanding respect. Mike Vick, because he's Mike Vick, he's commanding respect. Those that have that stature or have accomplished something, they're commanding respect.
Good point.
Tua's not commanding any respect. He's small. He's not authoritative. He ain't got no all-pros to his name. He might have a Pro Bowl or two to his name. He gets knocked out way too easily. It's not his own fault, but that's just what it is. So I think the players are a reflection of their leader, and Tua is their leader on the field.
I truly feel, and that's a good way you put it. That was great. But he showed flashes. The difference I feel like back then to now is he had more confidence. When you got more confidence as a player, you just play better. How you go? Now he was real bad early in his career, right?
Yeah.
You get some weapons, you get a new offensive genius type coach, and you start getting confidence, you start making plays. when I watch him, I don't see no more confidence. Because I don't think he's a dog. All right. So I never thought he was a dog. But I did think that it was a point where he had confidence and he was playing like it. I don't see no confidence. I don't see nothing. So if you're not a dog already, you're not super talented. I don't know how smart you really are, and you don't have confidence now.
Yeah.
What else do you have?
Nah, it's tough.
You get what I'm saying?
It's tough. Yeah.
Well, before when he had confidence, he still looked like a really good quarterback, or at least solid enough. I'm done with the tour though. Listen. This whole tour, I can't wait for the tour to be over with.
Yeah.
How many more tickets I got left?
I feel you.
Like 5 more games, more than 6. I can't wait for that to be over.
Yeah, it's tough right now. The Boo Birds came out for both Tua and Mike McDaniel tonight. We got this video to show you right here. My thing is, are they
Trade deadline next week, huh?
binary? Like is it? Are there two different schools of thought here? Is it one? Are we getting rid of Tua? Are we getting rid of Mike McDaniel? Or are they a package?
I think it's 3. I think it's 1, 2, and 3. Honestly,
Because in my opinion,
Why
you got to get rid of.
See, real quick.
All right.
How they had package though? One coach or one person made you better. You didn't make me better. Tool was not.
see, but the thing is though, with the way that Mike McDaniels leads, bro, as a head coach, he enables a lot of the tool behavior that has dispersed some of the I would assume camaraderie in the locker room. You know, everybody being on the same page. So I think that's kind of what makes Mike a problem.
I like that before McDaniel got there, correct? McDaniel's get there and he looks way better. So why we?
Hey, Dark, welcome to the chat, bro. We had 2 people today say that Deshaun Elliott is elite. What's your thoughts on that?
Why would we get rid of him? I think he's smart. Maybe not as a head coach, but I think he's just. It's just tricky because I think there's some value with McDaniel. I think there's some value there. I think if he gets some real coaches around him, because I don't think he's a head coach, but that's cool. Get you some guys around you that make you look better. I see a lot of coaches they're not really good head coaches, but they got guys around them. I
don't think there's a schematic issue per se, a huge schematic issue with the Miami Dolphins right now. I think they're a little soft.
Yeah.
But I think that might have a lot to do with Tua.
Can I ask you this real quick?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
I think there is a schematic issue. I mean, he scored 6 points yesterday. You know, gotta be some offensive issue. You know, schematically.
No shade here.
Yep.
He's been good, but not close to elite. Okay, gotcha. We're in the same boat with that one there.
Because I like the brother, Dan Campbell. You think he's a really good coach, right?
I think he's a tough head coach.
I think he's tough, right?
Yeah, he's tough.
But I don't know if he's like super good.
Of course.
Okay, because he had some rough years.
Yeah.
He gets the right coaches around him. Now these aggressive calls he was making that nobody liked, now they love it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Get some good defensive coordinators with you. Okay. So they can go for the 4th down. They don't get it, but the defense is so good. Okay, then maybe it makes up for it.
Yeah.
You get Ben Johnson there, and you see how that thing was rolling. So all I'm saying is, you get you a good coach, and you get coaches around him, they look better.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Let's talk about McDaniel because I got a lot of thoughts. You got a clip for us, Care Bear.
I'll
Play the
let you
clip.
guys see the clip.
It positively impacts the defense. 3rd and 7.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, no, this was wild. I ain't gonna lie. I said something in my reaction when I was watching the game. But I was like, maybe he did that because nothing was open pressure there, so he's just trying to throw the ball away. Maybe that was the intention. But I definitely feel like that was a extremely questionable decision. I tried to make some logic for it. Initially, I was like, what is he doing? What the heck? But
More of him looking scared.
Something wrong with that.
McDaniel has to go too.
You think so? Him too?
McDaniel has to go too because it's cool being smarter than you until you punch me in my face. Then my intelligence is irrelevant.
Explain that.
Mike McDaniel's brilliant. Like you said, I think he's brilliant.
Smart, bro.
But I think the Dolphins play a soft brand of football.
They do.
Former Dolphins players have said it. Deshaun Elliott, when he left and went to the Steelers. Analysts have said it. You watch it, you can tell. They play a soft brand of football. You cannot win championships or a championship being soft. Eventually, you got to go punch somebody in their face. Eventually, you got to run through a mother sucker's face.
I could see that. You know, the Mike McDaniel's aura is about just being smart. It's about being smart and being fast. It's not really about playing physical football like you get with a Dan Campbell or you get with a D'Amico Ryans or you get with a whoever else head coach, you know. So I could kind of see that, you know, and I mean, I don't know how much of the percentage of that is the overall issue, but I mean, I could see some validation in that.
Face mask. Eventually, you got to go try to draw blood from somebody. And the Dolphins do not play a draw blood brand of football. The Dolphins play a I will outsmart you brand of football. I respect that. I was a smart player. But eventually, Acho, you just got to tackle Shady in the hole. Your intelligence can't save you anymore, big dog. All them books you read can't save you anymore, big dog. Eventually, you got to strike Jason Kelce, shed Jason Kelce, and go make a one-on-one tackle. And all that smarts and all that checking here and checking there and all that film that you got to watch before the game, it's irrelevant for you.
That makes sense, yeah.
The Dolphins play a brilliant brand of football, and it works.
Yeah, a lot of the game is mental, you know. A lot of the game is mental. Hitting the guy, you know, seeing if he's still there by the fourth quarter mentally, you know, or if he checked out or, you know, rattling the guy or getting him frustrated and, you know, doing little slick stuff here and there, you know. But yeah, again, I can see some validation in that point.
Works when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and A-Chain and Raheem Mostert.
How tall is Mike McDaniel? I don't know. He don't look super tall or anything. I think he's shorter than Tua. 5'9". But again, though, like I said earlier, like that stuff really don't mean anything. It's surface level because if you have the character, they're gonna respect you. It don't matter how tall you look. Andy Reid fat. I mean, it is what it is. But he got the character. They respect him.
Back in the day when he
you don't gotta be this 6'4", 240-pound pure muscle coach. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
The league in touchdowns, but eventually you just gotta go run through the guy.
Because I'm watching A-Chain, I'm like, damn, I don't know how many teams he could play for. Everything to the sideline, everything's like fast.
Mike was so mad last night.
It reminds me of the NFL, like with Oregon.
Yes,
nothing real physical.
Well said.
And you see Oregon play against some tough dudes, they lose. But I will say this though, if McDaniel's job is to put points up, cool. Get a physical ass defense. Get a physical D coordinator.
There you go.
You putting down. You picking up when I'm putting down.
Yeah.
So if your job maybe it is a little soft, it's pretty soft. But if you put up points,
I'm not gonna say that's soft because don't Kyle Shanahan call the plays in San Fran, and he consistently has good defensive coordinators. That's not his job. You know what I mean? Like that's not the role that he's taking on. So I'm not mad at that.
Get a gangster defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now that's the physical part of it. It can work.
But here's my problem though: is coaches like players that remind themselves of them. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like coaches love players that remind themselves of them. The Dolphins 2-5, they had dogs. Jalen Ramsey, let him out the building. They had dogs. Minka Fitzpatrick, let him out the building and had to go back for him back. They had at least physical dogs. Deshaun Elliott plays the game. You know this, Care Bear. You watch him back in Texas. Deshaun Elliott plays the game like a dog. Like they've had dogs.
Brandon
but because their coach doesn't value dogs, they let the dogs walk. Meanwhile, Dan Campbell, he might not value intelligence. He valued dogs. Aiden Hutchinson, a dog.
Yeah.
Them white boys at linebacker, Rodriguez is hurt. He coming back.
Anzalone.
Dog. Anzalone.
Yeah.
Dog. The other one, Jack Campbell.
Jack Campbell's a dog.
David Montgomery. Dog.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Dog.
He a receiver and he a dog.
He a dog. Yeah.
Like Dan Campbell has acquired
The
a
whole offensive
roster.
line.
Thank you, Shady.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell has acquired a roster that reminds himself of him. Dogs. Mike McDaniel has acquired a roster that reminds himself of him.
Soft. Nah. That's crazy though. That's a pretty good analogy. I'm not gonna lie. You know, just a bunch of smaller, fast players. You know, but that's interesting.
All your receivers are your height. They might be great, but they 5'10", 5'10", running.
That's crazy, bro. I said this a few years ago. I said they need a bigger receiver. They need somebody to kind of like offset the, offset what they have. They have a bunch of the same style of receivers. Malik Washington, Taj Washington, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. There's another one, bro. Is it Westbrook? No, Westbrook Keenan. I think he like 6 foot. I could be wrong, but still, I mean, that's not tall in the NFL. So it's like, yeah, it's interesting.
Backs your size. They might be fast, but they 5'10". Before A-Chain was Mostert. Yeah. Mostert, my dog. I was with him when he was on practice squad in Philly in 2014.
5'10".
Wow.
They all small. They small cats.
But why? But if I'm
deep tackles. Christian.
Like the way the offense is built. I don't have no problem with it, but I think it would make it. I think it's better to have diversity. I think it's good to have. You can't take away Tyreek and Waddle, and it's nice to have a guy in the slot who is a bit shorter and shiftier. But I mean, you could interchange Tyreek and Waddle and put them in the slot on occasions, and you have a bigger receiver outside. I think it's nice to have that prototype or have multiple styles of receiver for different occasions. And again, I like the speed. I got no problem with it. Speed kills, but I think more so what he's harping on is not really the statue of the players being the issue, but the mentality that Mike McDaniel instills into the team. And it's not a hard-nosed mentality. It's not a tough mentality. But I think it's just ironic, very ironic, that a lot of the players are not, like he explained, are not, bigger. They all are a lot smaller, which is interesting. I said 2 in the slot. I said Tyreek or Waddle. They should have just kept Gesicki. Really helped their offense. That was a wild release, but I mean, they felt like they could do better without him. I did like Jonnu. That was wild too. Let him go. But hey, whatever.
Wilkins, first round pick, was a good player back in the day for them. He's an undersized D tackle. All of their players are.
Waller plays a big part in their offense. I mean, he only been there for 3 games, so I can't really even say that. It's not like Waller was big for them last year or the year before that. He played 3 games, so I can't really. He was big in those 3 games, caught 4 touchdowns, but at the same time, I think they got other things going on.
They're linebackers. They're smaller than me, and I've been retired for 8, 9, 10 years now. So the Dolphins players are reflections of the coach. And though their coach is smart and the coach might be athletic and agile, they're all small guys.
But if you bring, and that's a good point, but if you bring a gangster D coordinator in there, right, and the GM, they work that out what they like on defense. Yeah. Let them do that. Like Andy Reid, I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches. I think he's the greatest coach. But on defense, like he made little check marks, but he ain't really over there what's going on with the defense.
Nah, facts. And that's why I agree with you being an offensive minded coach and letting somebody else handle the defense, I don't consider that as soft. I mean, there's less for you to worry about. You got full security in this DC. You got full security and trust in this DC, and you let him do his thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Spags entire side of the ball.
Yeah, Jim Johnson doing that.
Yeah.
Who else he had that was over there? Sean McDermott. He took over after him. Like now he got Spags. I'm sure he'll be going there. Hey, what you like on defense? Okay, cool.
Sean McDermott is a defensive minded head coach.
Check mark.
I didn't know he was a DC.
It's not wrong with having good and great coaches
having a great staff around you. Yeah,
and that way it takes some of the pressure off. And look, you focus offense because and Andy Reid, he never really spent time with the defense.
Yep.
Y'all good over there? Yep. Cool. You get what I'm saying? You gotta have a dominant offense.
Yeah. The issue with me, though, is not about the staff. It's about what's the roster look like. I'm with Shady wholeheartedly. Mike McDaniel probably should have tried to get Robert Saleh before Saleh went back to Shanahan.
You see what I'm saying?
But here's what y'all got to remember.
And Saleh might say, I like these type of linebackers. I like these type of.
Who's the Ravens DC? He a dog. Anthony Weaver was the D-line coach. Who the Dolphins DC? Anthony Weaver was the D-line coach for the Ravens when the Ravens had, I think, the #1 defensive football under Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Weaver, first off, just look at him. Look like he about that action. Just off GP. Yeah. Secondly, he had the #1 defense with the Baltimore Ravens, and he was coaching them trenches. He was coaching them dogs. He was coaching them out of PK.
Yeah.
I think that was Clowney's 9 or 10 sack season. Like Anthony Weaver is a bad man.
But do we know if he's a dog? He got dogs playing for him, but do we know
I'll say this.
Okay.
Weaver came out and said, "Oh, y'all got to watch the quote." Weaver came out and said after the Dolphins started off like 1-3 or 1-4, he said, "So many of our problems could be fixed with violence." Close quote.
Yeah, he a dog. Yeah.
That's the dog mentality. Don't take my word for it. I try not to lie to y'all. Don't take my word for it.
And he got the ball head.
And he got the ball head.
I'm scared of any.
He said, "So many of our problems could be fixed with violence."
Puka back.
And that is true. Half the time, defensive issues just go knock somebody out.
He probably
I already know he violently bald-headed.
He probably single. He bald-headed. He ain't talking. He probably single.
So I say all
He
that
hates the world.
I say all of that to say, like, the Dolphins need players that are built like that. You can't go assign a bunch of achos. You can't win with a bunch of achos.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to Texas, Care, bro. I hate telling on myself like this.
Remember.
Matt Brown was like, "Hey, you need some Sam and Emmanuel achos, but you need a couple dudes that play with reckless abandon. You need a couple Kenny Vaccaros.
Yeah.
You need a couple Sergio Kendalls.
Yeah.
You need a couple dudes that might not be academic All-Americans, but they'll go run through somebody and run themselves unconscious.
You need some crash outs.
You
absolutely
do.
definitely need some crash outs.
You can't win the game with a whole bunch of small, fast guys.
That's one thing I like about Texans, boy. They got Aziz in the middle. He set that tone, but he crash out. But I think he's a smart player too. But I do think every defense needs like some hitters. I think that now is better when you got some hitters who are also they got some what's the word, some calm in them as well.
Dolphins, and that's what you're realizing in real time.
It's fair. I think that's fair.
We got
some crazy super chats.
The super chats are
Talk about
going
340 back out of the game too,
bro. Hilarious.
What a show.
Hilarious. So King Drewski said, not gonna lie, with the way AFC and North going, the Ravens don't need a winning record. They just need to be first. Then we got Jonathan Henry again, says, someone check if the Browns traded Dylan Gabriel to the Dolphins because I can't tell the difference.
That's funny.
Wow. Tall Up 340, our resident comedian in the chat, said, damn, baby, turn around and make that Tua clap for me. Make that Tua clap for me.
Y'all are crazy, bro.
He get wild though.
Oh my God.
He probably was one of the dudes in school, like,
Didn't do no homework.
but it's funny as hell.
Kept you laughing all day. Constantly kicked out of class. Josiah said, you know what? I can't get over is Tua saying he can't see over the O-line, but Brock can dish and dash, and I can't even imagine what he sees. I asked the chat, can the Ravens make it to the Super Bowl? 56% of the chat said no.
Okay.
We got another $10 super chat from Emmanuel who said, I keep hearing he's done with the Dolphins. You guys don't think he's done in the league?
No.
Yeah.
Tua. Hell.
He done as a starter.
No. He might be done as a starter.
Nah. I think you put Tua in bro. If you go put Tua on the Niners, do I believe he would be bad? I mean, again, we see him when the system is right, he does good. I think you put him in you'll throw him on the Vikings. I think he's gonna be fine. It just has to be a good system. I don't think good system and a good head coach. Those two things right there. Not just a good system. He need those. He need a good system and a good head coach. And I think you can definitely win some games with Tua.
That little guy, that little arm.
The dilemma
Who's
is,
taking on that contract?
He's bingo. He's making so much money. He ain't finna be. He probably not gonna be done in Miami.
But I'm saying, who would want him as the starter? Little guy, little arm, little hands, scared to get touched, get hit.
Wow.
Concussion background. I'm being serious.
I mean, Shady's.
I'm talking like a GM.
Nah, I hear you.
Yeah, Shady, that's actually true.
You get on the podium, you blame everybody, you talk about what's going on in the locker room to the freaking media.
That's actually true.
That's like a sin.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say this. I've said it multiple times. To get up on the podium and say, I can't do half the things Josh Allen can do. I do not
The voice imitation is crazy.
want that as my QB1. I'm with you on that, Shady.
Yeah.
Nah, that's factual, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tua does a lot of terrible stuff in front of the media. But hey, yeah, what it is.
For sure.
That's real.
Yeah, he might still be there. I don't know.
He
It's
will because of the
nasty,
money.
yeah.
But the Dolphins fans,
I don't know, though.
You're stuck. You're stuck.
You're stuck. You really are stuck.
Imagine a girl, she moving off for a guy. He's like, oh, your ex-boyfriend did what? I probably can't do none of that type of things.
Oh man.
Huh?
Yeah.
You think she gonna stay?
Yeah.
You're gonna look at you a little funny. There's certain things you just don't have to say. Like, you just nod your head and be like, okay, that's cool. All right, on to the next one.